All right, y'all. Here it is. Growing up in Henderson, part 1. I actually have another part 1 that I already recorded, but that story, it might be a little too much for a part 1. So this is let's call this Growing Up in Henderson, the intro. Now, for those of y'all just joining me, I am going to be telling you guys stories about how it was for me growing up in Henderson, North Carolina in the 90s. And if you're not familiar with Henderson, North Carolina, all I can say is just Google Henderson, North Carolina and the crime rate. It will blow your mind. It might be, if not, one of the most dangerous cities to live in now, and it also close to was in the 90s. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story about the first time I got beat up. And yes, I'm not talking about my first fight. No, I'm not talking about the first time I got jumped. All of these are different stories. We're gonna talk about the first time I got beat up. The first time I took an L was on Lehman Street, and I said on some of my previous stories that I wasn't gonna say real names for real people, but because this story is more embarrassing for me than anybody else, I'm gonna say the real names because I can. All right, so boom, here it is. I am probably about, at this time, I think I'm like 13. I might be 12 or 13 at this time, and I want y'all to understand, this is not my first fight. I have fought before. You grow up on Flint Hill, North Carolina, Flint Hill in Henderson, North Carolina, I'm telling you, you're gonna scrap. And I want y'all to understand, I probably have been fighting my entire life at this point, and I had never taken an L. My biggest advantage was that my dad taught me how to take a punch and throw a punch back at a young age. So like me getting hit never was a problem because most kids couldn't take a hit at that time. And so the story goes, we outside, we on Lehman Street. If you're familiar with Flint Hill, you know where Lehman Street is at. That's where Ministers Outreach Tabernacle is, the big church on the hill. And we are playing basketball out in the middle of the street at this guy named at TJ, TK, and the person's house. Y'all familiar with the family. And I'm still friends with some of the persons on my Facebook. So if y'all are on this, it ain't no disrespect. It's all love. This story is about that time that me and TK, I think TK might have been the youngest of the boys at that time, got into a fight. For like background, I just want to tell y'all, TJ and TK and TL all were like 3 brothers. TL passed shortly after this incident happened, actually. He passed away in his sleep, rest his soul. I'm not sure if TK is still alive, and I'm not sure if TJ is still alive, but I do know, like, I see some of their cousins still around, like Riri and David, and you know, y'all know y'all family, man. Shout out to y'all, big salute. All right, now that y'all know which family I'm talking about, me and TK, Dante, and I forget, there's a few of us out there. We playing basketball in front of Miss, I think her name was Miss Mary, was y'all grandmother's name. I can't remember her name. Y'all know y'all grandmother's name. Y'all used to have this basketball court there. Anyway, we playing basketball, and I'm going crazy because I'm tall. So I'm like scoring. I'm not even good at basketball. I'm like 12 years old, but I'm tall. So like biggest advantage. And we in the hood, so I'm talking my ish, like I'm popping off, like, this, that, and third, da. And I'm going crazy. And TK kept telling me, man, shut up before I hit you in the mouth. Man, shut up before I hit you in the mouth. Now, I just told y'all I'm 12 years old. I ain't took an L yet. I think I might be 13. I ain't took an L yet. So he talking, and I know he got his brothers there, but I know his brothers gonna let him shoot the fair ones. Like, they not the type, at this point in time, they not the type to like jump nobody. Plus, I knew them pretty well. So even if me and TK was gonna throw the hands, like we was gonna throw the hands and keep going. So eventually it gets to the point where like we in each other's face, and I'm telling TK, man, like, what's up? Like, what you want to do? Like, boom, boom. You know how y'all used to do back in the day, and you'll get all in a dude face, and y'all will be like, well, you swing first. Well, you swing first. We didn't do none of that. Nah, I got in his face, and TK must have been ready for the smoke that day. And I don't even remember seeing him pick it up, but this is how he got me. So I'm thinking we about to squabble. Behind his back, this dude done picked up a rollerblade. And for y'all who don't know, in Henderson, North Carolina, we used to have the only thing you could do as a kid was go to the skating rink over by Pizza Inn. The skating rink used to be the best thing smoking. That was like the club. That was like Bottom Line. It was like the deck before the deck. Everybody went there. Kids, teenagers, and sometimes adults. Anyway, this must have been his skate, because he used to also be at the skating rink with his brothers and his cousins and all them. Kareem, TK, TJ, David, all them. Y'all know who they are. Anyway, he pulled his skate out, and he just, hits me right here with the skate. And I'm going to be honest, at that point in time, that was the first time I got hit with an object. My dad taught me how to get hit with fists. He never taught me what it felt like to get hit with an object. So I kind of froze. And when I froze and he saw like I didn't put my hands up, he hit me. Back up, back up, back up. He came back with more. Bing, 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 bing. Next thing you know, I'm legit sprinting down the street. Yes, y'all, I got my tail whooped. I'm going to try to keep this PG-13. I got my tail whooped, and I'm running to the house. Why did I run to the house, y'all? So my dad was one of those dads that, like, if you came in the house crying, running, talking about you took an L, boy, if you don't go out there and go squabble again. So I come in the house and I'm crying, and I'm like, Dad, he hit me with a skate. And my dad just kind of sitting there looking at me. He pieced it together. Sound like you just took a L one-on-one. So my dad now y'all know my dad now. Shout out to my dad. I love him to death. My dad was not a saved man at the time. My dad was very much his whole name. My dad's name is Brute. Well, that's what they call him. They call him Brute. So you can imagine my dad know how to squabble. So my dad first instinct was like, boy, you going back outside right now and you gonna go fight. So I go back outside in my own street, in front of my own house on Maple Street, Flint Hill. I grew up on 1118 Maple Street, North Carolina. And I walk out the house and TK is standing in front of my house like he still want more smoke. God, y'all, I have never been so shivered me timbers in my life. And I'm 12. Like, I'm not talking about the grown man that I am now. Like, I'm still learning things. I was still learning things at the time. So we walk out and my dad, like, there he is right there. You're going to go back out there. You're going to fight him again. So me and TK, we actually square up with the hands, but like, I'm so thrown and my confidence is gone. And I wasn't feeling the fight. So I squabble up. And of course, mink, 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 mink. And more of a mop, 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 mop. Next thing I know, my dad breaks up the fight. Like, boy, go in the house. He give me an ice pack and he tell me to sit down. He like, you need to learn how to stand up for yourself, put your fists up and take a fight, basically, blah, blah, blah. He teaching me all these things. But that was the story about the first time that I got my tail whooped for the first time. And it wasn't my first fight, but it definitely was a humbling experience. Big shout out to the person's family. Anybody that's a person's family, comment below. Let me know how y'all family is doing. And for reference, me and TK and TJ, we made up like the next day. Like, there was no beef. There was no ongoing drama. Back then, in that day and time, you could actually have a fight, shake hands, and go about the rest of your week. Like, you might have fought twice, maybe 3 times max. But there was no, like, back then, like, there was guns, but we weren't, like, gunning. Like, everything wasn't about a gun. Like, nobody was afraid to take an L back then. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, if y'all like this story and y'all want to hear more stories about me growing up in Henderson, North Carolina, yes, I'm a Flint Hill product, but I'm not of the streets. I'm just from the streets. And I got plenty more stories like this about crazy things that may have happened when I was growing up and how my childhood was. And if you like this story, make sure you like, share, comment, please support and let me know if y'all want to hear the next story about how I had my first fight in the 2nd grade against Fat Fred with my boy Dante. Big shout out to the Olivers, and I think they're the Olivers. I think that's their family name. But big shout out to Dante, rest in peace, Chris, Francesca, Dina. Y'all know who y'all are. Big shout out to y'all, and big shout out to the person's family. I hope everything is doing well with you guys. I see a few of y'all doing well. Thank y'all for listening. We out.